And we've become great friends. I mean, close. We'll just sit in the front room and we'll sit there. And he'll go to the front door, kind of knock on the door, and then sit down, then I'll sit, and then he stands and he's out in the front. And then he'll come in, we just sit there. And he'll stand and I'll sit, and then I stand and you sit, and then we're both looking at each other and we're just nodding like a couple of nodders, right?
TBTL.
Okay. I've been waiting for this moment for months, and it's finally here. Yeah!
Now, we've known each other for quite some time in the professional realm. I'd like to push things forward in the friendship realm.
What's the friendship realm?
Well, you've heard of a realm? Yeah?
Yes.
Well, this is like a friendship one. A group of people basically getting together, calling each other friends.
Well, I think I'm looking forward to cracking up. I hope I can, totally crack up. So, I haven't, totally cracked up in a long time.
Sure, it's done in the name of comedy, but is debasing ourselves really that hilarious?
This is not your mama's podcast. This is too beautiful to live.
Well, all right. Hello, good morning, and welcome everyone to a Monday edition of TBTL, the show. It just might be too beautiful to live.
Isn't that for techno geeks with spreadsheets?
My name is Luke Burbank. I am your host.
I heard about that thing on the AM radio.
Coming to you today from beautiful downtown Friendship, Wisconsin.
This is special. This is special.
Where we have arrived at day one of TBTL-a-Thon 16, banding together, live from Friendship.
You're here to make friends. Making friends is the name of this show.
By the way, it's episode 4514 in a collector series.
Let the fun begin.
And of course, all week we will be celebrating TBTL and celebrating the tens of listeners.
I just want to hug this show and never let it go.
And also, and I would say critically, we will also be reminding everyone that this is 100% listener-supported podcasting. And, if we want to keep this whole thing rolling, we would love to get your continued, or maybe for the first time, financial support.
That cash could really get me out of a couple of jams.
In fact, something amazing and unprecedented is happening this TBTL-a-Thon, which we're going to talk about coming up, as an enticement to get folks who have maybe not had a chance to donate to the show before or used to but have gotten out of the habit. Anyway, we will talk about that and so much more all this week from Friendship. We also will be taking your phone calls at 206-414-TBTL.
Ahoy, ahoy.
That's 206-414-8285. We're going to roll out a new segment this week since we're in Friendship, Wisconsin at the Adams County Historical Society. We've got a segment we're going to call Friendship in the News.
I've got lots of news.
Starting with a very provocative headline in today's newspaper here in Friendship/Adams, Wisconsin. Of course, we'll also spend a lot of quality time with this guy, the longest running Cobra of the show.
I'm his best friend, also co-boss.
Maybe best known for his depictions of the tall ships. He is Andrew Walsh. He is joining me right now. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Luke. We're doing it.
It's happening.
It's happening. We're doing it.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think you and I have done... We're on TBTL-a-Thon 16. I'm going to say you and I have worked on, maybe 14 or 15 of these? Like, a lot of them. This could be a good thing or a bad thing. This is the most chill I've ever seen you. When, in the hours and moments preceding a Thon kicking off. You seem to be in a very good emotional place this year.
Are you familiar with CBD gummies? No, I'm just joking. I'm not actually in CBD gummies.
I think I know where you can get some. There appears to be some sort of a wacky tobacco shop right across the street from us where if you do need to get something, that's where you go.
Yeah, so it's we've been fascinated by it. I don't know how much we want. So first of all, let me just describe what we are seeing right now. We are set up right here in the Adams County Historical Society on Main Street in downtown Friendship, and we are looking out at a beautiful green lawn in front of a governmental building, or is it a school right there,
I think
Luke?
It's the county court
/
administrative building.
Yes.
It's, of course, just steps from Dan's Exteriors, where you can go for your windows, your sidings, your doors, your carpets. It's all available at Dan's Exteriors, although that appears to be closed on Monday, as is a lot of this town.
Yes,
it turns out.
It's a small little town, but it's very bucolic. It's like kind of like the downtown area here is about maybe 1 or 2 blocks, and it is just so charming. And also, there's a smoke shop across the way, and
Yes.
it's curious. I'm wondering what's going on in there, but I'm not going to ask too many questions.
No. We did not come to Friendship, Wisconsin to get anybody in trouble.
No.
We came here to celebrate the friendships that have formed on TBTL, both between us, the staff, and you, the tens of listeners. Speaking of us, the staff, how about we introduce TBTL employee numero uno, Dr. John Sklarov,
I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
who is joining me right now. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. I have to officially say I'm not a doctor. I'm married to one, but I'm not a doctor.
That does not
Sorry.
confer. You don't inherit the title of doctor if you're married to somebody who's a doctor.
No, we kept our own last names, so
Oh.
she kept her title.
That's a mistake.
So her last name is Doctor.
Yes,
I
she's
would have
Doctor.
I would have definitely taken that if I were you. That's pretty awesome. Now, John, I want to say you've already done a great job today of playing along, because what the listeners don't know, but now I'm going to tell them, is in this whole complex technical setup that Andrew, you mastered so beautifully. I mean, really and truly, thank you for sweating the details. Everything works great. I know that the YouTube feed is a little blurry. Do not adjust your set. That's just pretty much, we actually went around and unplugged the internet at everyone's house in Friendship, Wisconsin. We're using all of the bandwidth, and that's pretty much the best thing we can push out. We're hoping that you enjoy the kind of blurry, as Andrew would call it, potato versions of us.
Yeah, it's kind of potato.
But you can hear us is the hope. And would somebody let us know in the comments section if this is coming through the audio loud and clear? Because that's going to be...
People are saying audio is good.
Good. That's the
Audio is
main
good.
thing. So, and honestly, I think this is my best look.
I look better this way too. Absolutely. Imagine this. Look at this blurry image, and imagine if you cross your eyes a little bit. I have hair.
Yes, that's right.
Amazing.
Yes, it's a pretty big upgrade for all of us. But so in all of that, I forgot to bring a little connective item for my headphones. John also forgot to bring the same connective item for his headphones. Andrew wisely brought a backup, but only for one set. There was 2 sets of headphones in the stand, and that was when Andrew carried us. And so basically, I can hear the audio drops, and if we get a phone call later, by the way, 206-414-TBTL, Andrew can hear that. John is just going on faith. John is able to hear us because we're all in the same room together, and we can maybe relay anything that gets said by the callers. But John is kind of flying without sound today. We have ordered some replacement headphones. Turns out Friendship, Wisconsin is not in the headphone district of America, so it is taking a little time, but hopefully by tomorrow's show we'll have full fidelity for you. But again, you did a great job of pretending that you knew exactly when that Jack White, I believe that we are going to be friends audio drop that introduced you, ended.
Oh yeah, it was. I'm happy to know it's Jack White. I'm a fan.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't even know what?
No,
was
I had no idea
playing.
what was
Oh, right,
playing.
of course.
Yeah, I could
Oh,
hear the audio from the intro music playing through your guys' headphones
Yes.
a little bit. But other than that, I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
How are you feeling, John, about the Thon and the so far? We kind of announced all the thank you stuff on Friday, and then that sort of went live. And I know people have already started donating. And how as the person who keeps eyes on that stuff, how are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling really good. I know that the Tens are very generous and kind and wonderful, the best people. So I feel good about that. We also have a bunch of folks who give monthly, so that kind of helps keep the coffers stable. But this is the time, if you give once a year, if you haven't given in a few years, it would really keep the hairs on my head and keep them from going
It
totally
would
gray.
keep the topic on my scalp. It would keep the paint on my bald spot.
Right.
If we could, kind of have a strong start to the week. Is it too? And I'm sorry, Wade. You'd think I would have cleared this with both of you.
Oh.
Can we talk about the matching thing? Just kind of put it out there. Was that supposed to be? Was that supposed to be was that supposed to be revealed later in the week?
No, it's in the email that you sent out
Yeah,
this
of course.
morning.
That's why I knew it was okay to talk about it, because I 100% sent that email critically. Okay, we have an incredibly, we have so many incredibly generous Tens who have been supporting the show for all these years. Well, somebody who's choosing to remain anonymous stepped up and basically agreed to do this unbelievable thing, which is if you are somebody who's maybe never donated to TBTL before, like you've listened to the show and you thought, I got to get around to that, and you haven't, or maybe you're relatively new to it, or if maybe you were somebody that was donating a long time ago and then either circumstances or whatever just kind of had you sort of lapsed in that capacity, this unbelievably generous supporter of TBTL will match whatever you donate. So if you've never been donating to TBTL before and then you join at the like $6 a month level, that's going to get matched by somebody. So that's going twice as far. So this is the idea is that we would really love to incentivize some folks who haven't had a chance to donate or who used to donate a long time ago to kind of get back in the flow of things and to know that those donations are actually going to be doubled thanks to this incredible, generous, anonymous person.
And I want to jump in here and just say a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to try to stay away from talking about the anonymous donations this week personally because I don't trust myself. And I know who the person is, and I'm really, truly scared that I'm going to say
don't say
something. And I'm not going to say anything, but if I seem quiet on the topic, that is seriously why. Because it's like me in surprise parties or whatever. Like, I'm always scared I'm going to be the guy. So I'm going to let Luke handle most of that messaging. Having said that, I do want to say that the reason this was important to this person is because we are at a time right now, as many of you know all too well, that people have had to sort of change some of their giving habits in the current climate. People have had to kind of shift their priorities as far as what they're giving to. Some people have actually been victims of layoffs and other things that are happening in the country right now. So this show is here because of the unbelievable generosity of so many of our listeners, but that is also sort of shifting ground as well. And so if you're somebody who is in a position to keep the show going, that is not just good for the future of the show and for us, but also for the folks who had to send sometimes very heartbreaking emails about why they had to kind of at least for now not support TBTL anymore. And to those folks, we get it. We totally understand it. But there's no guilt, and you never have to apologize. But if you are listening and you're somebody who can sort of pick that up.
If things are going relatively okay for you and you're like, I could kick these guys $10 a month to keep this thing going, there might be somebody else for whom things are going less well, and they're going to have to kind of step away, and you might be kind of jumping into the breach there. So anyway, maybe we'll call that good on the sort of, the fundraising element at the early part of the show.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of got into that pretty early. I got real serious there.
I started that. But Andrew, it's because I don't know if you are, but I am laboring under a newfound sense of responsibility as what I think of as being maybe one of the more recognizable faces in Friendship, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right.
Because we went and we visited our billboard yesterday.
How am I forgetting? How am I forgetting that we're in a town right now that literally has a billboard with our goofy faces on it?
It's really big. I thought that when we were looking at the kind of mock-ups of it from the Lamar Advertising Company, I kind of thought, sometimes on the side of a building there'll be what I consider sort of a mini billboard, something that is, bigger than a breadbasket, but not the full-on size of the Spiro's billboard that really started this whole thing.
In a relationship with Spiro's?
Always. And so I kind of was thinking, well, maybe that's what we got. And even so, that's just we're calling it a billboard. It's a cool gimmick. This is fun content. And then we were driving down, is it Highway 21?
That is 21, yes. We're on 13 is Main Street, and then that is 21.
We were driving down Highway 21, and John did a little U-turn. I don't know if that was strictly legal, but it was what we needed to do.
Why you gotta out me, bro?
To come back and approach our billboard from maybe a quarter mile away. And as we got closer to it, I realized, this is...
It's a real thing.
It's a legitimately huge billboard. And by the way, we have the prime position. We're the closest to the road. Yeah. There is, I think it's what is it? Truck nuts?
I think it says tell them the bone sent you.
There is some real Trucktober energy next to us, which by the way, I absolutely welcome. Think of all the other, because there's two billboards. There's us and then there's one next to us. Think of all of the things we could have gotten in that billboard. That our neighbor.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
The fact that we got a Trucktober ad is I'm here for it.
I would have taken Lovers.
Wisconsin Andrew is a little spicy.
That'd have been pretty fun.
But we got out of the car and started walking towards the billboard, and all I could do was involuntarily laugh. It was not even in my control. I was totally and completely charmed by the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think we caught some of that on video, and you guys were taking some good photos by the billboard. Are those out on our Instagram?
If you go to our Instagram stories right now, you can see you guys walking up to the billboard. There's also, for the folks that are Instagram users, there's a little highlights section. So I'm going to be chronicling and saving things that we're posting in our stories all week, and those will live there permanently.
It was a pretty breathtaking experience, though. This
really
thing
was.
has been so theoretical for so long, that billboard. Even and like I know that like it's the thing should be that it's bananas that it's our faces so big on that billboard, we're standing below it. But I also, as the person who like knows nothing about graphic design, but had that on my computer and made that little thing and sent it to Lamar, our guy at Lamar, the billboard company, and name another billboard company, by the way. They've really done a great job.
Yeah, Ackerley Communications in Seattle, but I think that they have sold to Lamar.
Okay, well, there you go. But, you know, I was fretting. I'm just like, well, is this, what did I send? Not a PDF, but whatever it was, you know, a JPEG or a PNG. Like, is it big enough? And like,
do I look like I know what a dang JPEG is, Andrew?
I feel like so many things where I have to submit some sort of art. It's kind of like, well, no, you didn't submit the right sizes or dimensions or extension or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a podcaster. I kind of went into Tank Hill there a little bit. And this time we just weren't getting any feedback from Lamar. We sent him the art and it was just like, yeah, everything's okay. And so I kept telling you, John, can you get our guy at Lamar just to say attaboy, like this is good, this is working? And you forwarded me an email. He's like, yeah, it's fine. Stop worrying.
He was very like, yeah, all good, man.
It's a bill. And I'm just like, you don't understand. This is a billboard.
Yes.
And then to be underneath it and to look up, and it's so damn goofy. It is so damn goofy.
It looks
good,
but
also,
though.
I'm just like, this was just a little thumbnail on my computer a month ago, and now I'm standing below an actual, honest to gosh billboard. It's mind blowing.
But this was the thing for me, was after we got done admiring ourselves on the billboard and taking some photos, we then got back in the car and we popped over to the Quick Trip to grab a few things. And I know that it sounds like I'm just doing this to try to be funny. I'm thinking some people in the Quick Trip recognized us.
Oh, really?
We were just people were looking at us with a kind of a recognition in their eyes that I honestly am not used to, and it felt different. And I started to think, is it possible that, because this is not a large town, the people of Friendship, Wisconsin they don't know what we're doing here, or they don't know who those people on the billboard are, but there's either that or everyone here is very nice.
Yeah.
I do think that
we got out of the car. We had a bunch of like kind of food wrappers and garbage from a different Quick Trip that we went to. And we went to throw it out, and there was an employee of the Quick Trip we were at, and she was doing the garbage, and I heard you ask if we could throw something away, and she said, "Of course," and it was just like so pleasant and friendly. And then as we were going in, someone held the door for me and gave me like this huge smile.
That was me.
And then, unless you have somehow got very hot very quickly, Andrew, this was a whole other energy. No, but like. And then as we were making our way through the store, there wasn't one person in that store. We were only in there for like 5 minutes. But like there wasn't one person that I encountered who did not flash a huge smile. And I don't know, maybe that's a Wisconsin thing. Maybe that's a Friendship, Wisconsin thing, specifically Adams County. Or maybe it's because the billboard men have finally come. The people have been wondering.
They'd awaited our return.
They've exactly. The prophecy has been foretold. The billboard boys are here.
The billboard boys are here. Or the billboard business boys.
The billboard business boys are here, and everyone is gathering around to touch the hem of our garment.
People were touching my hems.
Okay,
I didn't know why, Luke.
What have you heard? I haven't been ordering things from that website. Hems.
Hems. 4 hems.
Yes. Possible show title.
Really contended.
About I don't know, 19 minutes in. So I mean, it is going to be an interesting thing to sort of be in this town for a week and to be interacting with folks and to be going around to see if honestly one person references that sign, or are you the guys from that sign? Or because people have been subjected to it. People have been, their eyes have been, observing it, whether they were even paying attention or not.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where we were talking about the type of billboard where we're like, this is so goofy, people are going to notice it, but also it is just a parody of like a
law
injury
billboard.
lawyer billboard on the kind of lower economic end of things. And so it also could be the type of billboard where you're just not noticing it because it just blends in. It just looks like any other kind of billboard like that. You might have to pass it a couple of times and be like, what the heck are they selling? It
We
just
should
says
have
cranky board.
We should have put free Packers tickets on it.
Yeah,
Will we be legally responsible for actually handing those out then? Or?
Yeah, we could have put free Vikings.
Tomato. Because Can I tell you guys a little bit about the town of Friendship, Wisconsin?
You could. Can I ask one follow-up, though?
Sure.
That also, and I hope this is okay, it also sort of introduces another one of our friends here in town, but we are here at the Historical Society, and our buddy Michael has
Michael Gock.
Michael Gock runs the place, essentially. I don't know what his official position is, but that's what I'm saying. He runs the place. He's the president. Anyway, he's been helping us out in all kinds of ways, including getting here on a Sunday night to let us in to set up and all of these things. Have we asked Michael if he knows about the billboard?
Well, here's I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I keep referencing it, hoping that his eyes will light up with recognition, and that has yet to happen. I think I've mentioned it 4 times in passing. Like, in fact, I was like, when we got here yesterday, he opened the door for us, and I think maybe it was 5 minutes after the appointed time or whatever, and he said some kind of joke about like, "Oh, sorry to make you wait," and I said, "We were just out admiring our billboard."
Oh yeah.
No comment.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Absolutely no response.
Yeah.
And then when there were some phone calls going on early in the preliminary stages of trying to get this set up, I kept saying, "We've also got a billboard out there."
No interest.
Limited response.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe he's the demo.
Yeah.
Maybe there's another demo that is really into it, and maybe it's just not people who are history buffs.
Can I point out when I came out here a couple weeks ago for the advanced scouting trip, I mentioned it, and he said something to the effect of, "Oh, I haven't gotten up there yet." So he knows they exist.
Oh, okay.
But also, I haven't gotten up there yet. It's not a big town.
No, I mean,
so
up
do we,
there yet is,
it's a few, it's like maybe a
could be
mile
that-
up the road. Do we think he's avoiding it?
It could be that kind of thing, like when a friend, puts out some music or something, and they're asking you, "Oh, did you get to listen?" Oh, you know what? I've been crazy. My email's been being crazy.
Right.
What's the equivalent of leaving us on a red for a billboard mention?
I think it's exactly what's happening technically. A little history about Friendship, Wisconsin, because we are in the Adams County Historical Society, which, by the way, used to be a bank, and is now where there's all this really great history about this town. 2020 census found that there's 648 people living here in Friendship, Wisconsin. Not a huge town.
You wouldn't say metropolis.
Probably not. I don't know what the cutoff for metropolis is, but it's probably north of 648 folks.
Yeah, that scans.
The village, well, Michael calls it a village, so we could call it that.
Yep.
The village was founded in 1856 by immigrants from Friendship, New York. Are they immigrants if they are just from a different town called Friendship that's in the
interesting.
same country?
And why did we not call it New Friendship?
New Friendship, New York, or New Friendship, Wisconsin. That has a certain ring to it. They picked this site because of the rapids that were in a creek, so that they could dam the rapids, and then they could have power for a lumber and a grist mill. I don't think I've heard the term grist and grist for the mill my whole life. I couldn't tell you what grist is.
I don't know either.
That's a really good point.
I had a cousin who had an issue with grist, actually.
In the 1950s or the 1850s, I'm sorry, many York staters settled in this part of Wisconsin. Also, the towns of Rome, Big Flats, Preston, and Easton were named after places in western New York. So there was a big migration from western New York. Like, Rome, New York.
Rome's central New York, but on the way to western New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think Friendship, New York is more the Buffalo area. That's solidly western New York. But yes, if you're pointing to me, Luke, coming from the Utica, moving to the Midwest, it's a very, very similar migration pattern myself.
Friendship was for decades, and probably still is, the least populous county seat in Wisconsin.
And I looked this up. There are 78 counties in Wisconsin.
Shockingly a lot.
A lot of counties.
I like, this is one of the things I really like about our friend Michael, who's our connection here at the Historical Society. He just calls it as he sees it. He says county population growth stalled in the 1860s and did not resume until the 1960s, but not by much in Friendship. So we're still kind of, and then he says life was peaceful in Friendship. No one felt the need to build a lockup until 1907.
Okay.
Accused criminals stayed with the sheriff or were taken by wagon 40 miles up to Portage.
Okay.
And I wonder if he's heard something about me, that he's specifying if there is or is not a local jail.
Is it spelled G-O-A-L or J-O-A-L? How is that? Yeah.
You mean the British version?
What is it? Is it British and old-timey kind of?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, being in the Gaul or whatever.
See that. I could see that being spelled here, like in stone above the arch.
Now, this is like the story of many American cities in my experience, has to do with where did the railroad end up going. Like if
yeah.
the railroad came to your place or came through your place, things boomed, and if it missed you by a certain number of miles.
Sorry, Tacoma.
Exactly. Like Tacoma was supposed to be the San Francisco of the West Coast, except the railroad went to Seattle or whatever. Which then made just Seattle the Seattle of the West
yeah,
Coast.
It's weird, and San Francisco remains the San Francisco of the West
to this
Coast.
day, to this very day.
The math is there. I'm just not smart enough to figure it out.
When the railroad arrived in 1911, it passed about a mile south of Friendship, and a village grew around the tracks. Friendship Village could have annexed the property, but did not. Sounds like Michael wonders if that was the right decision. So they would have a government services, mainly a school. The railroad people incorporated the village and city of Adams. Had Friendship acted, it would have been 4 times as large as it is. Again, I think for Michael, and I'm just I'll ask him when we get off the air, this is him saying basically, Friendship should have handed the ball to Marshawn. Like this was a critical,
right.
this was a critical missed opportunity that led to Friendship being more or less a very, very small place, and Adams veritably booming.
And I'm being earnest with this question. Is bigger better?
I mean, I wouldn't say so. I mean, I haven't been to Adams, but I sure like how Friendship turned out. This place is quaint as all get out.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned this on the show or not, but when we were sort of looking for a place to, we wanted to be in Friendship proper, but we were looking for a place that had decent internet. We have almost nothing where we are staying in our Airbnb, and so that's how we ended up here. But
is there a way to harness flies?
Yes, there are a lot of flies.
Could we network them together? Because if we could do that, it would have the fastest internet of anywhere in the world. Our
Actually,
Airbnb.
Did John tell you, like, that's kind of my fault?
No, it's not. It's don't.
I left the door open too long.
Don't be mean to our friend
I came in for
Andy.
1 second to say something to you, and then you and I started talking, and then John's like, the door's probably open for like 4 minutes or something. And
30 seconds
John's
at
in
the
the
most.
Midwest, and he's like, you can't leave. I mean, you didn't say this, but I saw it on your face. Like, hey, Seattle boy, you can't just leave the windows open here. Flies come in.
We have to at some point talk about this, just because it is going to be. First of all, I don't blame you at all.
I felt
Andrew,
really bad last
No,
night.
don't.
It was such a very, very brief moment of time, but I have to say that the fly situation in the Midwest is interesting and a kind of something I'm not totally used to. When I was in Kansas 2 weeks ago, and I was flying out of the Manhattan, Kansas airport, and I know Kansas, Wisconsin, not the same place, but I'm going to kind of call this Midwest. I'm going to group it together. I'd never experienced anything like this in the waiting area. So remember that airport didn't even open till like 5
Yes,
p.m.,
I
which was
do.
totally
Yes.
something I hadn't also experienced before. But there was I thought it was literally one fly that was just obsessed with me. Because it wasn't like if you looked around in this was like you hadn't gone through security yet. You're just sitting around kind of where you would check your bags and stuff. There wasn't like lots of flies, which is kind of like in our Airbnb. It's not like there's a swarm or a cloud, but I was just sitting in this waiting area, and what I thought was this one fly just kept landing on my arm, and then I'd brush it away, and then he'd go off, do something, he'd come back, and I just thought
This fly is way too into me.
I seriously thought, is somebody that I know who's passed away, did they get reincarnated into this fly and they're trying to talk to me?
I love that that's where your brain went.
Like, is this because this fly is really trying to do something, trying to send a message? But this was the weirdest part. So then I go through security. I'm going through the TSA, and when they finally open it, and the guy who was very nice, the TSA guy goes, "Did you bring that fly in with you?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Wait, you see
Kind
the
of
fly?"
with a little wing. Oh, you see it too?
I was like,
you see it too?
And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, they've been really bad this like month or this week or something." And it's exactly like the kind of flies that we have in our Airbnb, which is it's not an overwhelming. It's probably 5.
Yeah.
But they're just like, when I got out of the shower this morning, I was like, there was 2 in the bathroom with me, and they just want to.
So you're saying they're perverts?
They just, yeah, exactly.
Way too into you.
Well, as I often say, looking's free, touching'll cost you. But it was like, it's weird because they're not like the most annoying that they could be, but they're also not the least annoying they could be. They're just kind of there and kind of hanging out.
Coexist.
Yeah, precisely. So
I said this last night, and I'll say it again too. The flies I'm not worried about. It's the mosquitoes that here in the upper Midwest, especially like with all the water, that really gets you.
Yeah.
And as someone, our friend Jennifer commented on YouTube, we're also have to watch out for ticks if we're out and about too. So if we get I'm thinking about that as we went to see the billboard and we're walking through high grass.
I was worried about snakes. I wasn't even joking when I said look out for snakes.
should I have not have been bounding through like knee-deep grass in my running shorts this morning
Andrew
to take a
can
picture
do
of the
a
lake.
Andrew can do a
bad
tick
idea.
check for you later if you want.
Would you?
Yeah,
Full body. I want a
full
full.
That's right.
I want a full body, open-sided MRI scan performed by you of my ticks.
Do you
or
know?
possible ticks?
Do you know that I had a tick inside me once?
Inside you?
No.
Well, you know how they burrow in.
Oh,
yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I don't go outside. Like, how did I? Well.
And not in shorts typically.
No, I mean, actually at home I wear shorts quite a bit, but like I'm definitely not somebody who's going out into the wilderness, right? I go outside, but I go to the AM PM where they keep my twisted tea.
Exactly.
Like that's nature to me, right? Not a huge.
It has lemon.
It has threats, but ticks aren't one of
Yeah.
them. Let me put it that way. But Genevieve is
You like your chances with a motorcycle gang.
Yeah,
You're
way
fine.
more than
The
with
ticks got you nervous.
My concerns were when Genevieve came home from a camping trip one time. By the way, okay, I'm going to tell you the whole damn thing. By the way, Genevieve was out hiking with a friend, and they were probably going to spend the night. I think that's how it went. But then they end up coming home early, and so it ends up just being a one-day hike, sort of. And I'm surprised when Genevieve comes home, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't feel well. My tummy is really messed up." I'm like, "Oh." Because you ate those beans in the fridge that I told you not to eat that have been in there for a long time. And she's like, probably.
How about that? What was the other thing? Sour cream or something?
I think there was some yogurt that we were discussing the other day. But anyway, so I'd never want anybody that I love to be sick. But I will say if you have a tummy ache and it's because of the beans that I told you not to eat.
It is kind of a W for you.
So anyway, Genevieve comes home early from her camping trip and immediately just lays down in bed because she's upset. You know, like usually you get home from camping, you're in a shower, you're going to kind of luxuriate in being back from the wilderness. But she just lays straight on the bed and puts her hands on her tummy and just kind of falls right asleep or whatever. And then later that night, I go to bed as well. And the next morning, I'm taking a shower and I had a little blemish on me. It was on my leg, actually, on my thigh. And I start kind of picking at the blemish.
Was this recently?
This was about, I'm going to say, I was in my Roosevelt apartment, so this was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and anyway, so I start picking at. I get out of the shower, and then I start picking at this thing that's a black blemish. I mean, this is kind of weird. What is this thing on my leg? And then I pull it all the way out, and I go, and I throw it in the sink. Like I'm somebody who's never dealt with ticks before. I don't live that kind of lifestyle.
Did you make that sound? Did you make that ultra masculine sound because you recognized it was a tick, or because it hurt to remove it?
It did not hurt because the thing with me, like so much of this stuff is in my head. Like getting blood drawn really doesn't hurt either, but if I know that I'm going in, I get to. If somebody had said we're going in for a tick extraction here, I would have been a huge baby about it. But instead,
you didn't
I
realize you were doing it,
picking at a skin thing. But then when it comes out, it's a bug, and I throw it into the sink.
Did you get the head?
I took a photo. I did. I took a photo of it. I'm not even thinking tick at this point. I'm just thinking alien. Like I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, why was there a bug living in me?
Yes.
And then I think
should I be charging them rent?
And should I be? That bug was living in my thigh rent free.
Yeah. Squatters' rights.
So anyway, I showed it to Genevieve. Or I showed her the photo I took of it when it was in the sink.
You woke her up from her restorative sleep.
No, this is the next morning, and she's like, "Oh, that's a tick. I'm so sorry." She probably usually again you come home from camping, you clean up a little bit, but she was so under the weather, didn't feel well, so she laid down immediately, and I'm the one who ended up with ticks.
Can I posit a theory to absolve Genevieve?
Yes. No, of course not.
Yeah, so I'll do that anyway. So as a person who has dogs, we deal with ticks a lot.
Yeah.
And I wonder, doesn't Bingo go outside quite a bit?
This is pre-bingo.
Pre-bingo.
Nice
well, then
try.
then it's Genevieve's fault.
Nice try.
But the theory is that you're saying a tick could jump from a dog to a person and burrow in?
Yeah, they could absolutely jump from a dog to a person, especially if they're on the couch next to you, cuddled up. Tick can just kind of mosey on over.
Yikes. Okay, so we got to watch out for ticks.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to watch out for mosquitoes. I did notice that when I went out to the back deck area of our Airbnb, there's like the largest, most like Costco industrial size can of DEET.
Oh, really?
Like I was like, this is being put to good use out here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we are going to try to take some phone calls this week.
Yeah, let's see here.
206-414-TBTL. Do we have anybody on the line?
This person
Ahoy, hoy.
Oh, I can see on the
has
screen.
been holding for 20 minutes.
Hello.
Dedication.
Welcome to TBTL-a-Thon 16. Who is this?
Good morning, gents. It's Max from Brooklyn, currently in Delaware.
Oh, wait a minute. Max, who designed the Hey Mr. Tambourine Man chipmunk tambourine art, one of the greatest pieces of art in the history of TBTL, the same Max?
That would be me. Thanks, man. Thanks
Incredible.
for the compliment. It was truly a joy to create that masterpiece. If I can say that myself.
You absolutely
which I
can.
did.
You absolutely can. I was telling Luke and John today, I know this phrase is a little bit overused these days, but just talk about understanding the assignment. We're just
Yes.
like, we want
100%.
a depiction of like something that really evokes the chipmunks, but is kind of us. And it's like, I wouldn't know where to begin with that. I just had the idea,
Do we have call waiting?
We have call waiting. Let me put on Do Not Disturb again there. But anyway, Max, thank you again. Like you took like this sort of like barely formed idea in my head and just turned it into something that is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it's really good. Hey, Max,
Oh, thanks.
are you in Delaware because you're doing yet another performance somewhere?
I'm not. I'm actually on vacation.
Oh, nice.
Just checking out Lewis, Delaware for the first time. Some friends invited us out.
How is
to
Lewis,
the beach
Delaware?
town. It is currently beautiful. I'm sitting on a porch doing some classic Luke staring, and it couldn't be more glorious. The weather is like balmy. I've got trees with pink flowers, bikers going by. It's pretty great.
Cyclists, or are we talking like bikers, like Pee Wee Herman style bike gangs?
Oh, certainly cyclists in this sleepy beach town.
That's good too.
Hey, Max, I have to say, I know it's a little after the fact, but congrats on being in The Shark is Broken. Like, that is such an
thank you.
intriguing piece of theater. And were you the Dreyfuss character?
I was literally the Richard Dreyfuss in that production. And it's funny, so the past couple of weeks, because I just want to acknowledge, this has become a tradition for me. This is, I think, the 5th year running that I am the first caller on Monday.
Yes.
For the Thon.
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
And so neither would I. And so I, for the past couple of weeks, have been listening to the show and been like, what am I going to talk to the guys about? And I have 2 notes here. And I'm like, what are these notes?
You don't remember your notes?
One of the notes says, Richard Dreyfuss, in parentheses, mentioned Bill Maher.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what conversation that was. Do you remember what that
Yeah,
conversation
I know exactly
was?
what it was. And I have to be honest, Max, I don't want to criticize your work as an actor or your method, but I'm surprised that in research for your role in The Shark is Broken, you did not... And I don't know if the YouTube channel is fully showing what Andrew's doing or not, but he is reenacting Richard Dreyfuss on a Bill Maher production. So Bill Maher has this, it's not, real time. It's this much more boutique product where he just has people over to like smoke a lot of weed and talk sitting on a couch, maybe in his basement. And it's sort of like a Bill Maher, even less filtered, I guess, than regular Bill Maher.
That's what we need.
And one of the guests was Richard Dreyfuss. And what was notable about it was that, I don't know if it was like maybe he had too much indica, so he was into couch, but that he was sliding. Maybe he had some down to because he was sliding down the couch. Have you seen this footage, Max?
I have, although I will say, in research for the role,
Okay.
I was keeping my research tapped at about 1976.
I see.
When he was still doing press. But
That's
I
smart.
have seen that clip, and it's pretty great.
It's amazing. It's like what amazes me, and if you haven't seen this, just go on the internet and just Google like Richard Dreyfuss, Bill Maher, is that at no time did it appear that Bill Maher said, hey, you appear to be, maybe Bill Maher was also so baked that he just thought, oh, Richard Dreyfuss is melting and it's fine.
Maybe he just thought, boy, that chair's getting big.
Right? Like at no time does Bill Maher go, hey, my guy, you might want to sit up or something. But so this play, I know I want to get to your second note in a minute, but like I have been fascinated with the idea of this play since it was on Broadway because it's a play about the making of the film Jaws, right? Essentially.
Yeah, that's right. It's the play takes place while they're filming Jaws in 1974, and the cast is the 3 main actors.
Mm-hmm.
It's actors playing those actors, and it's basically about all of the downtime while they're on the ship, the Orca, waiting for the crew to fix the shark that notoriously never worked.
Right.
And so it's the sort of antics between these 3 guys. And highly fictionalized. but it was a super fun project.
Yeah, it just sounds like such a genius idea for a play. And I'm bummed that I wasn't in New York at the time that you were doing it, but I was stoked to see that you were a part of it. Waiting for Shark Doe, waiting for good Jaws. I know there's something in there. I can't get there right now. I'm sorry, I have a lot going on, Max. But
Jawsing for Godot. Right. We'll figure it out. I have a question for Max, if you don't mind. Max, how do you feel about HBO going back to the name HBO and abandoning the name Max?
Yeah, this had to be a blow for the Max community.
I'm so glad you asked me this. Andrew. You could not.
Is that the other note on your pad?
I am so thrilled that I don't have to go like that app that stole my name anymore. It's HBO Max. There is a history in advertising, in marketing, of people using my name to explain how exciting and big and more it is.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But just saying, we are now you, you don't get to be you. Oh, let's put on Max. I'm like, that's neat. I'm not actually on that network yet. If I was on the network,
yeah, exactly. You're working your way towards it. You're getting
you could
closer.
Say, let's put on Max, and then I'm there.
And,
but
to associate you with that font is just an insult, especially somebody
you don't
with
like
such
that font, Andrew.
great design sensibility. You should not be associated with that font at all. That X with the little slight waves in it. I don't like that at all.
I do think the fact that they changed it to HBO Wolkowitz.
Yeah, that
felt personal. That felt actually like maybe even a worse thing for them to do to you. What was your second thing that you wrote down to talk to us about?
The other thing, I know there was a conversation about tipping, and the thing that I was going to bring up was my compulsive nature brings me to do something called rounding out the cents. So if the bill is if the cents on the bill are 63, I will figure out the closest 20% whatever, and then I'll do 27 cents on top of that so that I can write the zeros at the end.
Yes.
So that it's a round dollar amount.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. I do the same thing for the same reason. You know what I really like, and I don't know if this. I think Andrew, we talked about this a while ago when it comes to sometimes in a grocery store, sometimes a restaurant where they say, "Do you want to round up?"
Yes.
And I know that you were saying that unfortunately in the grocery store example, sometimes that money is maybe not getting where we think it's going, or it's
it might go where it wants. I don't totally trust it, and I know that it's an advantage for the company because it's basically a tax break for them because they can count each of those as a personal donation that their company made.
What I like about this whole system is that I feel like I'm running the Gates Foundation. I feel like I'm one of the world's greatest philanthropists. And it costs me sometimes 7 cents. Like I'll be at the Safeway by my house and they'll ask me if I want to round up for junior diabetes, and I'll go, absolutely. And they'll be like, thank you so much. And I'll be like, that is the best ROI I could get on 9 cents. Like it just feels so low impact to me, and yet it seems like I'm being really generous.
You know what I always do is Goodwill. Now, I'm guessing you don't do a lot of shopping at Goodwill these days, but I like to pop in there, see what they got going on every now and then, maybe buy myself an oversized T-shirt to play darts in, who knows. But you round up, and that's very specifically, it kind of stays internal, it goes to the Goodwill education thing, so it kind of trains the people who work at Goodwill and gives them opportunities to get into the job force. And one time I was kind of checking out at the register, and this woman who I'm going to put her maybe in her 60s or something like that, she had a long line behind me, but she just started telling me about how great the program was for her and everything, and how she went through it, and now she's going to be a manager and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, that really, and I don't think that she was selling me on it. We just started chatting, and I was like, oh, okay, this is something very tangible to me.
I'm glad to hear that, because I do think Value Village is a scam.
I've heard that, because they're a for-profit company.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't know how widespread that place is. Do they have Value Village in Delaware that you've seen, Max?
I haven't seen anything like that.
It might be just a Northwest thing, but they basically, they're a for-profit company that that basically does everything they can to kind of confuse the issue of if they are for-profit or non-profit.
Yeah, it's basically like going into a Goodwill, so you just sort of assume. You don't
Yeah,
ask,
and
you know?
they've actually been sued by the state of Washington and lost over these exact practices, because what they basically do is get a bunch of people to donate things thinking that they're donating it to a charity, and they're not. They're donating it to a private business that will then just resell the stuff. Now, there is a person trying to take down Value Village from the inside, and that is my mother, Susan Burbank.
Oh, yeah.
Who one time found $20, I believe, in a pair of pants or a purse, some item at Value Village that she had no intention of buying.
Yeah.
And she took the money. And that was an issue between her and my
wouldn't
father.
you?
I know. My dad thought that was maybe not okay. My dad's also a person who pays taxes on the money I pay him to work on my house, which I think could be.
In other words, you're not filing that with the IRS. He doesn't have to.
No, I actually, it's probably could be a tax break for me, because I'm paying money to someone that is then being taxed. But anyway, all that is to say, my mom now often goes to Value Village and just goes through every single pocket in the whole joint.
Good for her. We should all do this.
Yeah.
100%. This is how we will take back some of our power and finances from the Value Village Corporation. All right, Max, listen, I think we have kept you from your vacationing for long enough. Anything else you want to throw at us here on? And I would love that you're the inaugural caller. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. One quick thing. I'm just going to grab Richard Dreyfuss to make a quick pitch for you. And just say, everyone out there listening should absolutely donate to the TBTL-a-Thon, because this podcast could not be more exciting. Listen to the celebrities they get on here.
I didn't know you did an actual Dreyfuss. That's so good. I thought that maybe you just in the play you inhabit the idea. I didn't know it was a full-on Dick Dreyfuss impersonation, and that's really good. Is that why you got the role?
I mean, it was part of the audition. So, yeah.
That's really good, dude.
Max, do the shark.
Do the shark.
Oh, I lost him.
Ah,
That's a terrible joke.
Splash. There you go.
All right, sorry about that. I put you on the spot. That was amazing.
That's
though, Max.
really impressive, dude. Yeah. Can you voice memo that to us? And we'll
Good luck with the thon.
Okay, Max, will you voice memo us some Richard Dreyfuss Thon? I know you're on vacation and you also drew the art for whatever.
Yeah.
And he donates.
It's a lot.
And
It's a lot to ask of one guy. But if you are inspired to throw any Richard Dreyfuss related Thon imaging down on your phone, just send it to us. We'll play it this week, because that's really good. We want to get that in higher fidelity.
You got it.
That was awesome.
Thanks,
email
brother.
it to
Appreciate
me,
you.
Max. You know how to get me.
Can I just jump in with two quick things? One, listener Cecilia said in the chat that because the audio quality, it looks like you're looking through a rainy window, which I thought was an interesting perspective.
The video quality.
The video quality,
Yeah.
rather than potato, I think that's a better way to look at things. And the other two is I feel very much like that meme of your best friends are out in the field playing this. I don't know if you know the Squidward meme.
Oh, because you can't hear Max.
I heard you guys cracking up and you're
yeah,
having the time of your life. And this is my fault because I forgot my adapter piece.
Well, I forgot mine as well.
No, but you're
Well,
priority.
tomorrow I'm giving it to John.
No,
That's fair.
Tomorrow, you
no,
don't
I
care.
just was sitting here. It's oh, I bet Max is saying something
So
really
Max
funny.
just did an absolutely spot on
I caught that part. Thank you.
Richard Dreyfuss
Yeah,
impression.
yeah.
Okay. Well, Max, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you if you're
Oh,
still
he's
there.
still there.
No, Max is gone.
okay,
But I
good.
will say he had some choice words for
Yeah,
you.
I
Josh.
forgot, John. I'm so sorry.
No,
I,
don't apologize. It's my own
I
doing.
totally forgot that you weren't hearing any of that.
It's my own doing. It's my own doing.
But I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, what would we have done different in that situation? Just told John everything that Max was
Can
saying.
we start doing that? You guys said, Max said this.
Okay, so Max is in Delaware. Okay, so this is the fifth Thon in a row where Max has been the first caller.
Oh, wow. Good for him. Consecutive streak. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, Max stopped his Richard Dreyfuss research at about 1976 because that was the era that he was doing Jaws in.
So he pre Mr. Holland's Opus.
Yeah, he didn't get into that era of Dreyfuss
Okay.
because that was not germane or not
I
relevant.
really appreciate the play-by-play.
The Shark is Broken.
Yeah,
And
okay.
it's a play about all of the time that the three actors are spending together. Richard Dreyfuss, is it Queeg? Who's the, and then
Quint?
Quint?
The guy who played Quint?
Is it Quint? The
Quint
guy
is the character, I think. Are you trying to think of the actor's name?
No, I don't know that guy's name. But
okay.
and then also Roy Schneider, I think, is the other guy.
Schneider? Is it
Maybe.
Schneider? Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, those three guys. The movie or the play is about all the time that those three guys are just spending on the set on the boat waiting for the shark to get fixed because the animatronic shark was always broken. Was one of the main things about Jaws.
Yeah, I think Oh, and then I made a really funny joke where I tried to make him imitate the shark.
Yes,
and it just went off
and the
without
phone line,
a hitch.
The phone line cut off, so it was really kind of bad. But then we just heard the end of it where Max said "splash," which is a really funny joke, actually.
I really appreciate you two giving me the recap immediately after all the listeners
I
just
actually
heard this
don't
whole
even-
conversation.
I think I might cancel the order for those headphones because
This is better.
I think this is actually better broadcasting than than what we were doing. How about a top story?
Hello and welcome to Top Story.
All right, we are here in Friendship, Wisconsin, and we thought we would take a look. This was actually, Andrew, you get total credit on this because we were in the grocery store last night. We're picking up some things. Oh, can we talk for a quick moment about the grocery store?
Yeah.
We were in the grocery store, and you thought to grab a copy of the local newspaper here in town.
Looks like it's a weekly, maybe?
Yeah, it's called the Adams-Friendship Times-Reporter. The Adams Friendship Times Reporter. And you threw that into my bag. And anyway, we've got a story from there we'll talk about in a minute. But we got into that grocery store like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes before it closed on a Sunday night. And you could tell that the teen staffers were kind of ready to be out of there. There was a kid sweeping literally under my feet in the produce department.
Yeah, and he kept kind of looking over his shoulder at us. And I just assumed it was because he saw the billboard.
Yeah, well, that's... Listen, just because you think everyone's looking at you doesn't mean you're wrong. But I was like, we were trying to kind of get our stuff and I guess get out of there. But then we all checked out in sort of different ways. You went to self-checkout. I had the most stuff of any of us, I think. And so I went through like traditional checkout because I didn't feel like I didn't want to learn what Wisconsin self-checkout looks like. Like, is it different?
There's a lot more cheese. I'm sorry for that joke. I couldn't think of anything. No, it was basically
Do an
the
impression
same.
of the cheese.
Okay, here.
Splash.
Chunka.
So John went through, I think, did you go through self-checkout or the regular
Yeah,
one?
I just followed.
So in other words, I was the only person who went through regular checkout, which is why you didn't have this
I
experience.
forgot regular checkout exists.
In Wisconsin, it still does. In Badger country. So like
you mean in bugging country?
That's right. I don't mean to bug you. The checkout, there was a kind of a teenage kid, and I got up there and I had all this stuff, and I just said to him like reflexively or instinctively, I guess more reflexively, I said, I'm gonna need some bags for this, because of course I didn't bring a like reusable grocery bag here to Wisconsin with me, and so he just looked at me like I had not two but like four heads.
Oh, really? Like
He was-
judging you for not bringing your own bag?
No idea what I'm going to need some bags. No idea why saying I'm going to need some bags would ever need saying.
Of course you need bags, in other words,
I'm-
yeah.
of course.
And they have those old plastic bags
Yes.
here that I haven't seen. I grew up with those plastic grocery bags that
Literally-
if you put too many of them on your fingers, it'll cut off circulation.
One of the grocery bags was already wrapped around the neck of a seagull. It comes pre-seagull wrapped.
That's right.
That's how much they do not give two flying flips about the plasticification of the world. It was, when I said to the kid, I'm going to need bags, it was like I said to him, I'm going to pay you with money. Like he could not, in the history of this kid working at this grocery store, no one has ever specified they're going to need bags.
And let me tell you this about those style bags too. It's even just putting the plastickiness aside. I am so used to having good tote bags now, the kind with a flat bottom,
Yes.
or using the paper bags that they have, which also have a flat bottom.
Yeah,
And so,
flat
like,
bottom bags, you make the grocery world go round.
One of my favorite things to do is to pack my own groceries in my bag because I have a system, right? But
Yes.
it's based on the fact that things can set down properly.
Mhm.
When you have these bags that come to a taper, I didn't know what I was doing. I was so instinctively, sorry to hit you, instinctively bummed. Like when I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I had this whole, I take out my groceries out of the basket in this way where I know I'm going to start stacking them up. And then like, I can't stack them up. It's just going to be a sack at the end of the day.
Yes. So that wasn't actually the part of the interaction that left me the most dispirited. It was at the end when he said to me, as the kids would say, dead ass, and said, do you need the senior discount?
Oh,
no way. Yeah way. Am I a Wisconsin old?
Oh my God.
I have never been asked that in my life.
Oh my God.
I've gotten AARP mailings for years. I think that's more just them trying to expand the customer base. I put that on them. I have never been asked, with unironically, and again, we've lots of listeners who are, I think, currently receiving the senior citizen discount and loving it. And by the way, when it is time for me to get that, I will also avail myself.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
I mean, you're going to remember your first time, though.
It was my friend, and it wasn't gentle.
Yeah.
It was not gentle. It was just, he's staring at me and just goes, do you need the senior discount? And I go, first of all, I was horrified, but I said, well, how old do I have to be? And he said, 60.
Uh-huh.
Now
you're 49, right?
I'm not that far away from 60 is the thing. I'm a decade.
Yeah.
I'm a decade away from 60. I think what was horrifying about it was not that he offered it to me, but that I realized, he's not wildly off base at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not 30 and he's offering this thing that kicks in at 60. He's offering a thing that kicks. Also, here's what it is. He was 17.
Yeah.
Anybody who's over 25
looks
at that point we become just a sort of a, what we look like to him? It's like he's watching the YouTube feed of this broadcast right now.
Yeah, just a blurry kind of icy
area
scene.
that could be of any age.
Yeah. I should also say they were very helpful and kind. They noticed one of the bags as we were walking away had a hole in it and like double
That was
the
a good
bag.
catch.
So they were like,
well, he was treating me with the respect you treat for your very senior elders.
Yeah. When I was doing the self-checkout, you know how they have people standing around, like, in case you need help with anything? One of them made sure they asked me if I was over 12 because I could have gotten a discount if I was under 12. I was like, no, I'm well over 12 years old.
Right,
So
I was going to try to give you
the
free cookie from the bakery.
They gave me a dum-dum lollipop.
Calling you Sport.
Or wait, no, they called me a dum-dum.
Would you like a free cookie, Sport?
I'm going to ask you another thing. I know we got to get into the top story here, but speaking of the youth of the people who were working at the grocery store, I feel like the workforce here, generally speaking, has been very young at both of the quick stops. Is that what they're
Quick Trip?
Get it right. Wisconsinites will have your head.
At both of the Quick Trips, I was stunned at how young both of maybe it was luck of the draw, but I had two people who seemed like they were 12 years old.
I got a kid whose name was Edison, spelled with a Y.
Oh,
that name was invented 8 months ago. Imagine, think of Thomas Edison, but then let's throw a Y in there.
Yeah. Why? Because we said
What's
so.
your why? That's a big thing these days. Hey, okay, you're doing it, but what's your why?
Wait, you mean if you're acting, what's your why?
Yeah, it's one of those kind of motivational, inspirational things. Like you're asking. I'll tell you somebody who has definitely said that they figured out their why, and it's Russell Wilson. It's the kind of thing that it's really a Dan Hedaya principle. I know you can get the job, but can you do the job? I know that you are doing the job. You're doing the thing, but have you asked yourself why you're doing the thing? What is your why?
Right.
Your WHY. Why? I'm Terry Gross.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It was right there. Don't apologize. You had to do it.
Can we talk, speaking of media, can we talk about this article that you found, Andrew?
Please. Yeah, so we were checking out at the grocery store, and I noticed this little newspaper, so we bought it to see what's going on locally.
There's nothing I love more than a good local newspaper, and I'm going to give them huge credit here for the Adams Friendship Times Reporter. There's a ton of original reporting in here.
Yes.
Sometimes local papers, and I understand why this is, because, of course, the media landscape is collapsing around us. But sometimes you'll see a paper that'll just be either only advertisements, like it's not even it's just hot tub ads.
Yeah.
Or one that is just maybe mostly Associated Press or other clip services, wire services that are just reprinted somewhere.
Yes.
This paper has a ton of local original reporting, which I love, including this headline, Andrew, that you found last night.
And I'm sorry to be dramatic here, but before we say what the headline is, I just want to say this trip has been more than months in the planning. We had the idea to come to Friendship over a year ago. We just weren't telling the listeners about it as we tried to figure out if it was feasible. We loved the idea of coming to a place called Friendship because of everything that represents regarding us and the show and the listeners and everything. And then we get the local Friendship newspaper, and I will just describe this before you reveal it, Luke, as the last headline I ever thought I would be reading in the Friendship newspaper. So that's the setup for this.
Andrew, we were actually back at the Airbnb, I think, and we were all sort of like munching down on whatever random stuff that we had had for dinner. And, oh, by the way, I forgot to play the Friendship in the News.
Oh, yeah.
Friendship in the News theme.
Call it Friendo.
I've got lots of news.
Time for Friendship in the News.
Perfect.
This does not sound like an intro that I made in 8 seconds right before the show.
You turned to me like you wanted something. I wanted to support you there. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to do the echo. Tomorrow when you do that, I'll say news.
Let's practice that. Okay, let's try that again.
Okay.
Just because I really want to nail this tomorrow. I feel like today's already a lost cause with it, but okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So, hey, Andrew, you know what it's time for?
Call it friendo.
I've got lots of news.
I think it's the fade in that really hurts the emphasis. It's time for friendship in the news.
News.
Is that Tina from Bob's Burgers?
Was that better, me doing the news? I was doing the echo of you.
News.
Oh, well, okay, fine. Are we
I
giving
thought it sounded-
critiques now?
I thought it sounded good.
I would like to have John do it, but he can't hear the audio.
No, he can't.
Friendship in the news.
He's no help to us. Anyway, Andrew, we were standing around kind of eating our dinner at about 9:30 at night, all sort of out of gas, but you were leafing through the newspaper, the local paper, and you just sort of stopped and said, well, here's a headline. Friendship man sentenced for choking friend.
That seems to go against the ideals of the Village of Friendship.
I can't tell if this is the greatest headline writing or maybe some headline writing that needs to go back to J school because you are using friendship and friend
I know.
in the same headline, which I think typically the thought in journalism is you don't want to use the same word twice.
What about chum? Would it be better if it was friendship man sentenced for choking chum?
Choking associate. That sounds like something else.
Was
Was he near a school?
Thank goodness we are not live. Strike that.
Friendship
We'll beat
man
that.
sentenced for choking associate. That sort of also makes it sound a little bit.
What if you go the negative, like unfriendly encounter in friendship or something like that? Like kind of
This is New York Posty.
Yes,
Like this,
there
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Topless, what is it? Headless man found in topless bar. The famous New York Post headline. I like that. I like that's where you're going, John. Kind of like, unfriendly activity unfolds in friendship or something.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a story of somebody who choked their friend, which was not something that anybody should do. This person is now being sentenced for this. It sounds also like they've got some anger issues. You pointed out in this article, Andrew, other things that have happened to this particular fellow who it sounds like, let's see, he was upset with one of his friends. According to the criminal complaint, he got angry at one of the participants in whatever this social event was and put a chokehold around his neck until the victim, while the victim was resting against a truck, the victim unfortunately passed out. Looks like they're going to be okay. In another incident, this same person got angry at a family member for not giving him a ride to Cottonville.
Yeah.
According to the criminal complaint, he picked up a tote full of toys and threw it, damaging the tote.
So we're picturing a tote here being a kind of a plastic
Yes.
storables solution.
Sounds like the toys. I don't know if they were. Are you guys familiar with Labubus? Are you familiar with the phenomenon that is the Labubu?
It's like a stuffed animal kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a stuffed toy that's now, it's sort of the Beanie Baby of the moment. I don't know if there were Labubus in the tote. It was noted in the article, and presumably in the police report, that the tote was damaged when the tote of toys was thrown, and then he later punched his truck with his fist in anger, raising the question, as you did last night, John, why didn't he drive his own truck to Cottonville instead of asking a friend for a ride?
I think there are two his in there. So I think the thing is
he punched
our
the friend's
suspect
truck.
punched the friend's truck. Yes, I think that's the assault.
That could have
on
led
truck.
the headline, Friendship Man Punches Friend's Truck in Friendship.
In friendship, exactly. Yeah. So I do think that at first it sounded like he punched his own truck. I'm like, why is that a crime? Like, I don't want to get all like, don't tread on me here, but I should be allowed to punch my own truck. It's my truck.
The other big
Please
article.
don't punch the rental car.
Okay.
The other big article, Nakusa man sentenced for third OWI. And we've figured out that OWI here in Wisconsin means driving under the influence. Obviously, very unsafe behavior. Obviously, a terrible idea. What was jumping out about this article, though, was that this person, 71-year-old Nakusa man, his truck came to rest in somebody's yard at about, it sounds like 6:30 p.m. on this particular day. Now, what the article kind of details is that the people that lived in the house where the truck came to a stop, it sounded like they were, and you could sort of read this however you want as far as if they were making the right call or not, but it sounds like they were trying to keep this issue within this person's family initially.
Yeah.
It says that they first got a hold of his cell phone and they called somebody in his family I think said like, "Come pick up your guy." He's
Which
in-
I know that this is a needless detail, but my initial reaction was like, how did they use his cell phone to
Right.
call somebody? Because I'm always used to lock screens.
Yeah.
And
Well, this
everything.
guy was 71 years old.
So
and
maybe a flip phone, maybe.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, good. Good
interesting.
thinking. I hadn't thought
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. So by the way, this was near the town of Rome, which
Yeah.
we've already mentioned, was imported here from the state of New York.
Yeah.
So the folks in again, these people seemed remarkably chill about a guy driving into their yard at 6:30 at night who appeared to be inebriated. Tried to again handle this informally. The family members they got on the phone said, "We're going to go ahead and recommend you call 911."
Yes, exactly.
So that's you could call that rock bottom. You could call that setting appropriate boundaries. But
Yep.
they did call 911. And then the residents, let's see, officers were told that this person arrived in their yard about 6:30 p.m. and had been there for about an hour. And this is, again, I love the reporting in this paper because it's very understated. The residents provided this person with a pair of pants. That's just midway in the story that he was pantsless.
Yeah,
during this whole event.
It's implied. I
Burying
mean, again,
the
we
lead.
need to follow our own journalistic diligence here.
Yes.
We don't know for sure that he was pantless, but we do know that they offered him a pair of pants for whatever reason. I guess we can
Maybe he
infer.
soiled himself.
Possibly.
Oh, that is actually a really good point.
Yeah.
It might
I mean,
not
if you're
be that he was
passed out at 6:30 at
he
night.
might not have been
Now, would you
pantless.
consider that?
Yeah.
But here's the important question. This is why you donate to TBTL, everyone, because we start off in one place and we go all over, and then we end up at what I think is a very important and salient detail. Is peeing your pants soiling them? I think
Yes.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
soiling exclusively means number 2 in your pants, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that's interesting. When somebody
Soil.
says,
What is the color of soil?
when people say soil, I
Yeah.
think what you're saying right away, but intellectually, it seems like I would argue that it would be any.
It's not great, either
anything
one.
that you've soiled your pants.
Yeah, either way,
with.
you've lost.
Listen, if you told me you soiled yourself, that would exclusively in my mind mean you had a number 2 action.
So
and I've done that, so I know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about here.
Yeah, you are the expert in the field. So aside from saying peeing your pants, like
Wet himself?
Wet himself.
I would say wet himself is more specific.
Yeah, listen. I'm not saying you're wrong. I like soil. As
I'm
a
wondering if
catch-all.
we've buried this conversation deep enough in the broadcast that nobody from the Historical Society is still listening,
Yeah,
therefore not getting us pulled because we just got the equipment working. It would be a shame if we had to go do it from the restaurant down the street.
We'd have to go to Cottonville. We have to catch a ride to Cottonville.
You better take me to Cottonville or I'm throwing this tote full of toys at a wall or something.
I mean, it's worth noting that I don't think that these two particular stories that we have chosen to represent
They
the
do not.
people or the culture
Absolutely
of
not.
friendship.
What they represent, though, I like is a sort of a kind of a dispassionate, but it would sound like accurate form of journalism going on in this newspaper. And I
Yes.
really mean that. Like, reading this newspaper over the last from last night when we got it has been very delightful, and I hope that it continues on for a long time. I hope it lives 1,000 lifetimes. Andrew,
Yes,
or 1,000 years.
I noticed that the one we bought yesterday was from last Wednesday. That's what these
Oh,
headlines come from. So I'm
nice.
guessing it's a weekly, which means I
Oh,
think
love
we might
it.
have a fresh
Refresh,
newspaper
yeah.
on Wednesday. That's what I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Love it. One last thing here. Do we have? Should we try to take another
Oh
phone
yeah, we
call?
have somebody. I forgot. We've had somebody on hold
Oh,
here for
geez.
about 10 minutes or
Okay,
so.
hold on.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hello, you are on TBTL-a-Thon 16. Who is this?
Hi, hi. This is Michelle calling.
Michelle from a mere one state away over there in Minnesota. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
Great. Sad we're gonna miss you for the picnic on Friday, but it sounds
No.
like you have a wait. Nope.
When your kiddo comes to town, you got to hang around.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
You, I'm sorry. I was calling to say two things.
Yes.
One was that Luke answered an email from me this year, which was a miracle. and second, was, can you tell us about the plate? The video is coming and going, and we can see this Friendship Wisconsin plate.
Oh, I love that it's even cleared up just enough for you to make that out, because when we walked in here to the Adams County Historical Society, I immediately zeroed in on this Michelle, which is it was celebrating would it be centennial, 100 years? The centennial
Yes.
of the town of Friendship, Wisconsin, and it is a beautiful plate. It has a picture of Dwight Eisenhower on it because he was the president. I don't believe he came here. He didn't whistle stop over here, but and then it's got a
Maybe
picture
in Adams.
of Franklin Pierce, who I'm guessing was president when the town of Friendship was established.
Oh, the only president from New Hampshire, and by all accounts, one of the worst presidents.
Oh, okay.
And a relative.
Wait, no, am I right about him being a bad president? I'm not sure.
Worth a guess.
I think so. I think he was a relative of the Bush family too, like
I
a
didn't know that.
distant
Okay.
or something. Or yeah.
And then you've got, I believe that there's a lake or a river that's, I'm going to say this, Michelle, you might know how to say this. It's like Roche Acree. It's ROCHE.A.CRI. And it says Roche Acree Vacation Land. And I've seen that Roche Acree everywhere around here. I think it's a park or a lake or something that everybody really loves around here.
Here, can I hold that up to the camera?
That's what I was going to say. Can one of you who's not me walk it over to the camera? And we should probably have John do it since he can't hear Michelle anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna now, Andrew. Okay, it looks good from where I'm sitting, but of course we are not monitoring. That's good. I'd move it even a little bit closer, and then we're gonna wait. Michelle, are you watching this in real time? Will you tell us when it clears up enough for you to see the plate?
Just stand there the rest of the broadcast, Andrew, so it clears up now.
I'm trying to watch it in real time, but there's a lag.
Okay. Oh, right.
So,
You'd think I would know that. You'd think of all people, one of the allegedly professional broadcasters. Good point. Okay. Well, in about, I want to say 4 to 5 hours, the plate is going to come into focus, and you'll be able to see this. But it is like it is such a cool little piece of history here, and I love that it's got Eisenhower on it. It says Adams County. It feels like Adams County history to me, which is why I put it on the table. And again, I didn't think anyone would actually be able to make it out. So good for you being eagle-eyed.
I'll post a picture of it I just snapped into our stories on Instagram for anyone that wants to see it too.
And I do believe if you visit the Adams County
thank
Historical
you, John.
Society, you can buy one of these. They appear to
really?
be for sale.
Oh.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that they do have merch here. They've got T-shirts. They've got all kinds of stuff. We're going to find out more about this place as the week goes on, because it is, first of all, we really appreciate them hosting us. And there is a guy, maybe we'll get into this in the coming days. There are these 2 books that I'm holding. I was using one of them actually for a microphone stand, but I'm trying to lift, and I'm a person, as you know, who lifts weights and is extremely physically impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I can barely hold this book up with one hand. It is Friendship, Wisconsin, A History, wait for it, Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Because there are 2 volumes. This thing is an immense tome, and there's 2 of them. They're written by a guy named Dennis McFarlane, who I learned from our friend Michael was a retired attorney who is just particularly fascinated with the history of this town and has written these extremely thorough
those are very big
histories
tomes.
of the place. And I need you to read all of this by the end of the weekend, so you can give us a report on Friday.
That sounds good. I'm a fast reader. That's what everybody knows about me. That's my leading characteristic.
Yes. So anyway, Michelle, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of history around here. Anything else non-plate related that you wanted to run by us or ask about?
Oh, well, just like Max, I would like to urge the Tens to go ahead and send their donations in on Monday rather than waiting until Friday.
Oh, good looking out. Hold on, I've got to translate for John. He can't hear
Please,
anything. Michelle said that it would be great if folks donated on Monday instead of waiting until Friday. What's your official thought on that?
Michelle is a very smart individual because I 100% agree. Get your donation in now so you don't have to think about it later.
Can I ask you both a question right now while Michelle is on the line? So looking ahead to the picnic on Friday, things are looking pretty good as far as us getting supplies and everything. People, if you're going to be showing up to the picnic at Friendship, RSVP on our website. The one thing I'm concerned about is cutlery, plastic cutlery, forks,
and paper plates too.
Paper plates. Do we have that covered?
Thankfully.
Wait, because I mean, there's been a fork tariff too, right?
A fork tariff.
So I've been all over Friendship and Adams County, and I haven't been able to locate any of those kinds of things.
Well, thankfully, and I don't know if she's still on the line there, Michelle. Michelle and I met for coffee briefly in St. Paul recently, and she is our official fork sponsor, and she threw in the plates on top of that.
Wait, I didn't even know about the plates.
Yeah, I can tell you about the plates.
That's why she was so interested in this plate.
Yes, it's
I
a
see.
full circle.
I see. It's a whole thing.
So official fork and plate sponsor of the picnic, because Michelle had some extra ones she wanted to share with us. So thank you very much,
Thank you
Michelle.
to our official cutlery level sponsor of the Thon, our friend Michelle therein. It's in Edina, right?
Edina, yep.
Edina, that's right. And I mean, it goes with the theme because this is all left over from my days as a band mom.
Oh, perfect.
I see.
There you go.
Is this the same?
Oh, look at that beautiful picture.
Is this? Oh, good. Michelle just started seeing the plate.
Okay, good.
If anybody wants to know what the delay is, that's what the delay is.
Can I also send another special thanks to Michelle for Michelle told me about Regina's chocolates in St. Paul that her husband Tom were getting some candy from, and I picked up some chocolate for my mother-in-law's birthday, and she loved it. So thank you for the recommendation.
Nice.
All right. Well,
good.
Michelle, thank you again
You
for yeah. What were you gonna say?
Have a great time and beware of biting gnats. Also, they're
Great.
Great.
Put that on the list. Biting gnats. Have you heard of this? Michelle just said, "Beware of biting gnats." John.
Aside from skeeters.
Yeah.
Skeeters,
in addition
ticks.
to, in addition to, and I, by the way, no offense, John, I don't want to put you on blast here,
Oh,
but I don't think we should call them skeeters. I think that makes them sound like a
Adorable?
plucky sidekick in a Disney movie. Maybe, voiced by Ariana Grande or something. I think mosquito. I think we need to use the term that strikes the proper fear.
I think that I could not agree with you more. And also, can I just point out something?
Please.
With every passing moment, I feel like our decision to make this one of the clues.
Am I bugging you?
Really? Yeah.
I don't mean to bug you.
That is becoming more relevant by the day while
Absolutely.
we're out here. Am I
100%.
right?
In fact, we thought this was badger related. No, it's actually insect related, and it's
actually insect
extremely relevant. So, hey, Michelle, thanks again. We really do appreciate you. You're the best.
Have a great week. Bye.
Thanks,
bye. Okay, maybe on tomorrow's episode of the show, can we discuss betting? Can we discuss Airbnb betting?
Betting, not betting.
Not betting.
We've
No,
talked
no.
about betting a lot on the show. You want to talk about betting?
I want to talk about betting tomorrow on the show because I feel like, well, you know what I want to talk? I want to talk tomorrow on the show just about the entire domicile situation, about the whole kind of, like the layout of the Airbnb and what we're doing and where we're all sleeping, etc. Because I may have made a really critical mistake when it came to us kind of going to our respective rooms. Maybe we can talk about that on the show tomorrow. And what else? We'll take some more calls tomorrow.
Take some more calls,
We'll
and
raise
again,
some more money, hopefully.
Not to try to, belabor it, but if you're able to support us during this TBTL-a-Thon, that is why we're here, and that's why we're doing it, is because you guys allow this type of stuff to happen. So thank you for donating to the show if you haven't already, and certainly if you're somebody who has never donated but been listening for a while, maybe you're a new listener who started listening in 2015 or something along those lines, and you just haven't had a chance to
mere
give yet.
decade ago.
Maybe we can convert you to be a donor this year at any level possible. By the way, I want to encourage people to give, but I always want to be very clear that we're not using guilt here. If you can't give, you can't give. But if you can, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. And again, if you have not ever donated to the show, you can have that donation matched by an incredible, anonymous, generous person. So that's going to go twice as far and help us keep doing this twice as long. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in today. Thanks for being part of TBTL and helping us keep this whole thing rolling. Thanks also to the fine folks here at the Adams County Historical Society in downtown Friendship, Wisconsin, who have been hosting us so kindly today and for the rest of the week. If we raise enough money this week, we will be able to get John his own headphones. So everybody cross your fingers on that. In the meantime, have a great Monday, everybody. Stay safe. And please remember, no mountain too tall.
And good luck to you all.
Did we just become best friends?
Power out.